Okay, we have here the Fichet 787. It's a pump lock. So I push in to use the key. I've got a little bit of an unconventional way of tensioning this lock. So it's going to take some time to insert all the tools. I'm going to start with this back plate. And I am slipping. I am inserting this plate in between the housing and the core. Now I'm just letting it drop to the bottom, and I'm making sure that that's centered on the bottom. That's kind of a lousy camera angle to see this, huh? There. All right, so that's one piece in place. I'm next going to take a second plate, and this one has a nut ground down and soldered onto it, silver soldered. And similar idea. Apply some tension, rotate. Okay, there we go. So I've turned that nut so it's now framed in the front of the housing. And now here's the tricky part. I want to put one of these pieces in front of the other. So I'm going to lift with a magnet that bottom one. I'll scoop it up with a wire here. Okay. On a thicker wire, like this one. And now I've got a screw for the top piece. So that I'm going to pull on the top, push on the bottom, and put one over the other. And now I just need to line these guys up a little. So let me see if I can lift the bottom up a little. Move the top down. Okay, and I think I got enough overlap. Put a thick wire in to align the pieces and move everything to the bottom. Okay. All right. So let's see if that worked. I should be able to take this screw and apply tension. There we go. I'm going to keep on going until I stop. Yep, it's as far as I can go. I'm binding, and I'll back off maybe 3/4 of a turn. Okay. And now we are ready to start picking. Start here on the right. It's lever 6 set. It's lever 6 and lever 4 set. push on 2. But 2's not binding. I'm going to go to the other side. One, 3, 5, 7 is binding. I heard something drop, so I just want to see how bad that was. Sometimes I get some strange noises because 6 and 4 are still firmly set, so probably a false alarm there. All right, let's get back on 7. Okay, there we're binding. Letting up on tension. Okay. I think I'm able to get past into the gate now. Yeah. Very sloppy though. See the other side. Always about balance, this lock. Balancing the sides. I mean, I'm almost concerned I overset 7. That's exactly what happened. All right, let me let up a little bit. Here we go. All right, 7's at least reset. Still a 4. And lost 6. All right, I got 4 and 6 back. Seven binding again. And 2 is binding. So that tells me I want to get 7 in position right there, but I also want to work on 2, like that. Nice. So now I'm just gradually increasing tension. Making sure everything stays in the gate. Let's see where we are. Seven's in its gate. Six and 4 are as well. 2 is not. Okay. So I want to work on 2. And this is the balance part. I'll hold 7 in place. I think it was as simple as that. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, 2's really stuck. I think I'm going to have to release some tension. Need some more. Okay, a little bit more. There we go. That's the movement on 2 I was looking for. Now I have to keep that as I slowly increase tension. Lost it right there. It's a little bit of a harder push. I mean, it almost feels like 2's overset. Yeah, crazy. That's what happened. Okay. It's always straightforward to fix. Just rotating the core a little. All right, well, that certainly took a good chunk of time, but that's the hardest part. We've got the foundation now set for the lock. And so 1 isn't binding, 3 is binding, 5 is binding, 7 is set. And on the left, on the right side, 6 is set, 4 is set, 2 is in the gate, and 8, I'm certain is not. Let's see, it's all the way at the bottom. Let's just test it. Yeah, it's binding. Okay, not hard though. So now that we have a foundation, meaning got some stability at least on both sides, we want to fill out the middle, and so that means there are 2 levers on the left that still need attention. That's going to be 3 and 5. So let's take a look at those next. Okay, 3 is binding hard, 5's binding. So let me start by loosening tension. I'm a little concerned that 3 isn't moving at all. So I'm just going to try to rotate the core a little. Let's see if that gives any movement. Not really. Let me try again. Try the other direction. Maybe I did it the wrong way. Okay. Oh, definitely some movement now. And just check everything else. 7 set. 2 slipped out a little bit, but three still jammed. Five's binding though. Okay, just got 5. Be very careful here. Make sure I take everything else with me. Oh, good. Now 3's moving. Oh, and that might have been 3 set. Those 2 are binding really close to each other. It's good though. Those are the 2 that I want. Okay, 5's just hanging in there, but 3 fell out. I'm going to try to get 3 back. been at? I'm alternating working 3 and 5 together with 2. Don't want to lose my balance. But I want to add 3 and 5 to my foundation here. Feels pretty good. It's always easier with this pig to get a feel on the right side. Okay. Yeah, I'm at the verge of losing 2, so I need to be careful as I tighten it up. But interestingly enough, 4 and 6 were staying very stable. And I've got 3, 5, and 7 here. So everything's, the whole lock's hanging on a thread here. So what that just told me is I'm going to want to pay attention to 3 and 5, but while making sure 2 stays set. All 3 of those guys are kind of at the edge of their gates. And so if we just hold steady and get them in as we increase tension, at some point they'll stabilize in the gates. All right, now, I don't know if you can see that in the camera. Yeah, you can. Good, good. So I've almost got a little mark here, and I've gone, I don't know, almost a full half turn since we started the first binding, so that's quite a bit of tension here. I'm going to take a break and see where we are. One's binding. 3 is set. 5 is set. 7 is set. 6 was not. It was hanging on that thread. 4 is set. 2 set. Okay. Because we nudged 6, I'm just want to keep on going through until everyone's stable. What I mean by that is I should be able to go around a few cycles and have all of the levers firmly in their gates, not hanging on the edge. I can't really increase tension from here, so better work. I mean, the that's a real solid, like I can feel 3's really in there, 5. 7. Those are all feeling pretty good. Okay. We've got the whole center of the lock opened up now. That means the 2 extreme levers, 1 and 8, are what's left. And I've got quite a bit of tension here, so 1, unsurprisingly, is binding. And then 8 all the way down here on the right. Okay, a little bit of movement, but binding. All right, I'm going to try to release tension and get 8. That felt good. Wow, I think 8 is set. And the reason I'm a little surprised is I don't think anything else dropped. Nice. Okay. I kind of don't believe it, so I'm going to try one more time. So the right side, 8 set, 6, 4, 2. Whole right side is open. And on the left, 1's binding, 3 set, 5 set, and 7 set. We only have 1 lever in our way. Lever 1. All right. Break. So, you might think the reason I tried out this tension strategy is to get a very fine level of control, which you do. I mean, each rotation here is only 0.5 millimeter, so I'm able to very, really fine tune that. But the main advantage, I have to say, is, you can just, don't have to rush. You can take a break, and obviously, I'm finding it important to be able to use both hands to be able to balance the levers on each side. Okay, so there's 1. Let's release tension here until we find it able to move freely. Okay, I heard something. Okay, I'm going to bring back tension briefly. And now, because this is the last lever, I suspect, and it's all the way in the top, I really want to make sure everything's balanced as we move it up. And the easiest way to ensure that is to just track 2 along with it. All right, let's see how that went. afraid I might lose 8. Left side is open. And I just can't get a feel on 8. I mean, it might be good. Let's keep on going. Oh, I lost 1 right there. And that was 3. I mean, this lock sure puts up a fight until the end. Have to give it that. I think I may be open. I hope you can hear that. You know, when you jiggle these guys, you'll know you're set in the gate when you hear 2 clicks. One will be at the back edge, and then as you let up the front edge. And I hear that very distinctly on the left side. And on the right. And I need a deeper pick to test 8. Yeah, we're open. So to actually open the lock, I need to apply more tension to push the core into place until I'm able to turn it. And there we are. So let's see. I'm going to take our tools out, and we'll do a gut of this lock, and I can give a close-up to explain. I know the camera angle's not great. I apologize for that. But I can do a little bit more explanation of what's going on here with the tension, because I think that's probably the most interesting thing. So I took the front plate out. Now the back plate's sitting in here. There we go. Got it out with the magnet. Let's see how to best do this. Let me clear my tools away. Let's see, I probably want to, actually, let's keep this in frame. Okay, I'm going to unlock focus, zoom out. Here, maybe put this on the, yeah, let's get rid of the vise. Don't need that. Yeah, let's see, I have a camera stand here. I'll just move this off too. Give me 1 second. Okay. some good camera position here. Zoom out a little bit. There, that seems to be a little bit better. And let's get a gun tray. And fix my lighting. That's pretty good. All right, so first things first, you can see there that the core is turned about 45 degrees. And yeah, that should be evident on the back too. And I'm going to turn that all the way around 360, and then we'll lock it back up. Okay. All right. Next step is we got to get this lock out of its casing. So in the back here, I can just remove this this metal piece, and then here, this is a key part. The fence is here. I want to get a close up there. Oh, come on, focus, will you? There we go. Because you see all those markings on that fence. That's why this was so difficult to pick. I got this locked use, of course, and there was quite a bit of wear on the fence, which makes it harder to pick because the levers tend to bind a little bit more simultaneously that way. You can see the gears in here. Let me first take those springs out. Now you can see, I might need some better light. Focus, come on. There we go. Okay, you can see all the gears there. And what happens as I manipulate the levers or you use the key, you can see they all line up so that the fence can slot in there and the key can turn. That's how the lock works. Now I'd love to do a full gut of this. In order to do that, there's a pin we need to take out right there. Okay, I got it. Just having so much trouble with the focus. I don't know what happened here. There we go. All right. And so with that pin removed, I can drop this whole chamber out. Okay. And so you'll see there's an empty housing there. Okay, and now there are a few things going on here. On the front, there's a shutter, and my shutter is actually broken. There's supposed to be tabs on both sides of these, but I have 3 of the 4 broken off. And I believe there's some of the springs just kind of hanging out here, not really doing anything because those posts are missing. Here's the other one. And then the other interesting thing here is this is where the blocker is. Now this is the interior cylinder. And so the blocker is not active, but it does sometimes come into play when the, I ran into some difficulty when the core was turning within the housing. And the blocker was engaging a little bit that way, but it's pretty easy to get around. And you can see how this lock works. The key presses on these levers in here, and then those levers move back and forth, and those interface with these gears. So that's the idea. And let's keep on going. Let's do a full gut of this thing. To do that, we need to poke a lot of posts out. So we'll start with this top one, and let me orient myself. Okay, this is the top of the lock, so lever gear 1 down to 8. Here we can zoom in a little bit more so it's a little bit easier for you to see what I'm doing here. I'm going to pop this post out. Okay, and as a result of that, we can take all these gears out. So there's, and by the way, I'll do a close-up on one of them initially. These, they're all the same, the gears. And you'll notice there are 2 prongs at the top, and so there's a little tight area where you want to get the fence and the gate. That marking, I've done this before, so I marked all the gears on one side just so I have the right orientation. All right, and then there's a spacer in between each gear. It looks like this. Okay, so I'm just going to take them all out one at a time. Or 2 at a time. Visibility here. Okay, here's the next spacer. Here's gear 4. Spacer. Gear 5. Spacer, gear 6, spacer, gear 7, spacer, and the last, gear 8. Okay, and then you can see the next layer there. That's, shine a light right in there, kind of see it. That's the ends of the levers that the key interacts with. And so to keep on going, the levers are 4 on each side, and they're held together with these springs here. So I think the first thing I need to do is take the springs out. Okay, so there's a post here. And that's one bank of spring. Okay. And now, let's see, I believe with that spring gone, you can see these 4 levers are free to fall all the way out. And then if I take this post out, I can remove the levers. There we go. The first 4 levers. And then the other side. Right? So spring here. Seems a little stuck, that gun. There we go. There's the other set of springs. And then that should allow these guys to fall out. And we can take that post and here's the other 4 levers. And that's it. There is 1 post left. I don't know what that one does. Doesn't seem to want to move, but you can otherwise see that this core is empty. Cool. So that's the Fichet 787. Yeah, I think probably the only other thing to talk about is, here's a close-up of my tensioner, and you can see there are a few pieces. There's this screw here, and it goes into this front plate. And then it just kind of rests on this back plate. And then the idea is, by turning the screw, I can spread these plates apart and apply tension just as if the key were pushing in. So that's a neat little gadget right there.